Chciałem wtyczę mikrofon. A z tego rozważasz pistol. Brigitte,
Let me get the... Can everyone hear me okay?
Hello? Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and let's start. By way of introduction, let's start with introducing the people from Iran, then we'll go to Brazil, and then we'll go to Bulgaria, okay? Iran, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, I'm Simon. We are from grad school, Iran. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you very much. Let's go to Brazil then.
Okay, nice to meet you. I am Atalo from Brazil. I am English teacher. Unfortunately, I don't have students at this moment. I can show them the recording later. I hope to learn a lot with you.
Thank you. Then let's introduce the people in Bulgaria, if you could.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we hear you fine.
Okay, so what? Should we introduce ourselves?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, okay. We're from 9B class. My name is Yanni. This is Alex. And
I'm Tony.
This is Tony.
Okay.
We're students.
Okay, for point of reference, we're going to talk about Bulgarian Independence Day today, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the Iranian independence as well. So let's start with Iran, and then we'll go to Bulgaria. Iran, if you would unmute, and let's talk a little bit about what you were going to say, and then we'll go to Bulgaria, okay? Go ahead, Iran.
The history of Ottoman Bulgaria spans nearly 500 years, from the conquest by the Ottoman Empire of the smaller kingdoms emerging from the disintegrating Second Bulgarian Empire in the late 4th century to the liberation of Bulgaria in 1878. After the Ottoman conquest, all major city centers of Bulgarian culture were destroyed. Most of the written works were lost, and educated clergy that survived escaped to other Slavic countries. Bulgarian culture entered a long period of slumber, during which it was isolated from many of the processes that occurred throughout the rest of Europe.
While the Ottomans were ascendant, there was over opposition to their rule. The first revolt began in 1408 when two Bulgarian nobles, Constantine and Frisian, liberated some regions for several years. More than a century later, two Tarnava uprisings occurred. In 1598, first Tarnava uprising, and 1686, second Tarnava uprising, around the old capital Tarnava. Those were followed by the Catholic Chibrovsky uprising in 1688 and insurrection in Macedonia led by Caproch in 1689, both provoked by the Austrians as part of their long war with the Ottomans. All of the uprisings were unsuccessful and were drowned in blood. Most of them resulted in massive waves of exiles, often numbering hundreds of thousands. In 1739, the Treaty of Belgrade between Austrian Empire and the Ottoman Empire ended Austrian interest in the Balkans for a century. But by the 18th century, the rising power of Russia was making itself felt in the area. The Russians, as philo-Orthodox Slavs, could appeal to the Bulgarians in a way that the Austrians could not. The Treaty of Kainarka of 1774 gave Russia the right to interfere in Ottoman affairs to protect the Sultan's Christian subjects. Armed resistance to the Ottoman rule scaled escalated in the third quarter of the 19th century and reached its climax with the April uprising of 1876 that covered part of the technically Bulgarian territories of the empire and was suppressed by the Ottoman troops, taking the lives of many. The uprising, along with the strategic interests of Russia on the Balkans, was the reason for the Russo-Turkish War of 1877 until 1878 that ended with the establishment of the independent Bulgarian state in 1878, albeit far smaller than what Bulgarians had hoped and was what was projected by the preliminary Treaty of Constantinople of 1878. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Iran. And now let's go to Bulgaria. Bulgaria, if you want to begin yours, then we'll have some discussion. I think we're going to be joined by Taiwan here directly too. Bulgaria, go ahead.
Bulgaria celebrates the country's national holiday on the 3rd of March. This year we celebrated the 137th anniversary of our liberation from 5 centuries of Ottoman slavery. Liberation Day is a public holiday in Bulgaria. Bulgaria celebrates annual celebration of its liberation from almost 500 years of Ottoman slavery on the 3rd of March under the Treaty of San Stefano. The Treaty of San Stefano ended the Russo-Turkish War in 1878 and paved the way for the liberation of Bulgaria and once again establishes itself as a nation and successfully put the country back on the world map. History of Bulgaria's liberation. Bulgaria was already a sovereign nation with established culture, language, arts, technology, among others, even before it succumbed to the forces of the Ottoman Empire in the 15th century. Bulgaria's nation was established back in the early 7th century, Anno Domini, when the First Bulgarian Empire began at around 632 and 681, lasting until 1018, covering most of the Balkans, geopolitical region in Southern Europe. Bulgarians had their own government and distinct culture, education, literature, arts, religion, and economic way of life before the Turks came in. The Slavic people consider Bulgaria as the center of European culture and arts before the Ottoman Empire colonized the region. The Peace Treaty of San Stefano marks the revival of the Bulgarian state dominated by the Ottoman rule since the end of the 14th century. Bulgaria, however, became a truly independent country after the Congress of Berlin, which took place a couple of months later, despite the fact that it ended with the redistribution back to the Ottoman Empire of certain Bulgarian territories that the previous treaty had given to the Principality of Bulgaria, most notably Macedonia.
Bulgarian uprising. The revolt of Bosnia and Herzegovina spurred Bucharest-based Bulgarian revolutionaries into action. In 1875, a Bulgarian uprising was hastily prepared to take advantage of Ottoman's preoccupation, but it fizzled before it started. In the spring of 1876, another uprising erupted in the south-central Bulgarian lands. That event was even more hazardly planned than the previous one. However, the Ottomans, lacking adequate regular troops because the problems in Bosnia and Herzegovina, were compelled to use the irregular Bashi Bazakus to to kill the Bulgarians, May 11 to the 9th of June 1876. The Bazooks brutally suppressed the revolt, massacring up to 15,000 people in the protest. Between 1,000 and 1,200 people, mostly women and children, took refuge in a church at Batak, and they were burned alive. 5,000 of the 7,000 villagers of Batak were put to death, according to some sources. Both Batak and Perushitsa were the majority of the population, was also massacred, had not participated in the rebellion. The April uprising was an insurrection, sorry for that, organized by the Bulgarians in the Ottoman Empire from April to May 1876, which indirectly resulted into reestablishment of Bulgaria in 1878. The regular Ottoman army and irregular Bashi Bazouk units brutally suppressed the rebels, leading to the public outcry in Europe and the United States, with many famous intellectuals condemning the Ottoman atrocities and supporting the oppressed Bulgarian population. The 1876 uprising involved only those parts of the Ottoman territory populated predominantly by Bulgarians. The emergence of Bulgarian national sentiments was closely related to the re-establishment of the independent Bulgarian Orthodox Church in 1870. Together with nations of romantic nationalism, the rise of national awareness became known as Bulgarian National Revival. European demands for the reform of the Ottoman Empire and the Russo-Turkish War, which ended in Turkish defeat and signing of the Treaty of San Stefano in March 1878.
Okay, the effects of Bulgaria. The treaty theoretically set up an autonomous, self-governing tributary principality Bulgaria with a Christian government and the right to keep an army though the state de facto functioned as independent nation. Its territory included the plain between the Danube and the Balkan mountain range, Taraplina, the region of Sofia, Pivot, Vran, and Morava Valley, northern Thrace, parts of eastern Thrace, and nearly all Macedonia. A prince elected by the people approved the sublime port and recognized by the great powers was to take the helm of the country, and council of the noblemen was to draft a constitution. The Russo-Turkish War of 1877 and 1878 was a conflict between the Ottoman Empire and the Eastern Orthodox Coalition led by the Russian Empire and composed of several Balkan countries, fought in the Balkans, in the Caucasus. It originated in emerging 19th century Balkan nationalism. Additional factors included Russian hopes of recovering territorial losses suffered during the Crimean War, re-established itself in the Black Sea, and supporting the political movement attempting to free Balkan nations from the other Ottoman Empire. As a result of the war, Russia succeeded in claiming several provinces in the Caucasus, namely Kars and Batumi. The Principate of Romania, in Serbia and Montenegro, each of which had de facto sovereign for some time, formally proclaimed independence from the Ottoman Empire. After almost 5 centuries of Ottoman domination from 1396 to 1878, the Bulgarian state was re-established as the Principality of Bulgaria, covering the land between the Danube River and the Balkan Mountains, except northern Dobruja, which was given to Romania, as well as region of Sofia, which became the new state capital. The Congress of Berlin was also allowed Austria-Hungary to occupy Bosnia-Herzegovina and the UK to take the Cyprus. Thank you.
If someone has questions.
Yeah, let's go to Taiwan first. Taiwan, do you have any questions about either Ottomans or the Bulgarian Liberation Days? Go ahead, Taiwan, and then we'll go to Iran. I still have your video. It's just I had to re-download it, and it's almost ready. We're going to show the video too. Mary,
Okay.
you have a question, Mary?
I have a question. I'm wondering what is there any symbol of the three color of your national flag?
Yeah, symbol. Well, we didn't hear very well.
I think is there any symbol of the Ottoman Empire on your national flag?
No, we don't have.
Any other questions from Taiwan? If not, let's go to Tehran. Tehran, you have any questions?
Yeah, we just wanted to know that what influence do you think that the Ottoman Empire has had on Bulgaria's cultures from the past? Influences we can see now. Are there any influences?
They haven't affected our culture very much. I don't think. Even under slavery, we have still kept our culture. We still, well, at least some of us, are probably those with more, with more heart, which are loyal to their nation. They still were Christians. We were pushed to be Muslimanians, but well, so I don't believe, but we probably have some Turkish words which we use in our language. But if there is an effect, it's only a little.
Yeah, how about maybe like cultural things like food or something like that? I guess it would be a lot more on food, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we have some food which Turkish, yeah, we have some Turkish food like shawarma. Shawarma.
Okay, Iran, we might ask you the same question. What influences of the Ottoman Empire do they still have in Iran? Karen, what influences do they have? Go ahead.
Actually, I think that we were never under influence of Ottoman Empire that much, that they would have any influence on us in any way.
Okay. Yeah, it just was really close. I was just wondering. Historic Persia, they took over parts, not necessarily where you're at now. The boys had put together a really very, very nice video, and I was just about ready to be able to show it to you. Okay. And they're going. It's in Bulgarian, so they're going to. Let me try to get it up for you, and then we're going to. Okay, through the magic of really nice here, we're going to try to show this for you. Just a second, see what happened. I have nothing but difficulties today. Well, I might have to re-download it again. That's just the way my luck is today. Go ahead and Bulgaria, tell us a little bit about what you do for Liberation Day. Oh, we're waiting.
How do we celebrate it? Well, we go to the top Shipka on a mountain, Staraponina, and I don't know why we are still too young. We haven't went there, I believe. Some of you have.
When we go to the top of the mountain Shipka, we have fireworks there, so we're shooting fireworks, and everything is like shining, and there's a performance that they do.
They
and,
march.
Yeah,
Marches.
yeah, and yeah.
And our president has a speech, pronounces a speech.
Yep. And we have nothing special like food and
Yeah,
just
it's not so special, but we're feeling kind of free.
That sounds really good. I have to reload this it seemed like every 2 seconds for something went out, and I'm trying to see if I can get it now. I have about 4 more minutes on my second reload, so if we could keep on talking, I appreciate it. Mary, what do you guys teach about Ottoman Empire in Taiwan?
What did you say about the empire?
Yeah, in your world history classes that the students take, what do they teach about the Ottomans?
Let me ask them, because I actually don't teach geography.
I know.
Also, we've thought that, and we found out that due to the religious wars that we have with Ottomans, we have had some influences from Ottomans. Like we had lots of immigrants from Ottoman. Now we have lots of Turkish people in here, and also there has been lots of influences on our language. Like
really?
Yes, we have some of them words are.
Yeah, we have some words from Turkish, and also we've had some influence on them as well, on their language and the words they use.
Oh, really? You might want to explain to the people, what's the difference between Turkish and Farsi?
There's a lot of difference between our language, but some words are the same.
Okay.
No, we have some words that they are same. I know Turkish language and Persian language together, and some words are the same. But they are so many differences.
Like we don't like each other. We have different grammars. Everything is different. There are just some words and some phonetics that we have. It's simple.
Okay, now I hope I don't want to be offensive or anything, but aren't the Ottomans going to be Sunni and most of the Persian people be Shiite? Am I wrong?
Yes, you're right. Like lots of the wars we had with them has been due to this same issue.
Right, and that's a large issue amongst. I mean, even though you may both believe in the same type of religion, that's a large problem between the two countries. Correct?
Yes, there are lots of differences. Like as you said, we believe in the same thing, but there are some differences that cause some conflicts between the countries, unfortunately.
Okay, I think they went. What happened here? Okay, I think you guys went. Yeah, I'm sorry. You just never know. Okay. Go ahead.
I still would like to share what they had learned in the group.
Yeah, good. Go.
Our students in our school will know how the Ottoman, the rise of Ottoman and how do the force of the Ottoman Empire become stronger and the reason why they become
the rise and fall of this empire.
yes.
What a lot of people may not know is the Turks originally came from not too far from China. So, as they moved west and took over different lands, it's not always taught in geography or world history the same way. So I was just wondering how it was taught in different parts of the world. In Brazil, what do you teach about the Ottoman Empire in Brazil, or Eastern Europe, or even Iran or Persia?
Yeah, actually, I don't remember much about the Ottoman Empire unless when we talk about the World War. I don't remember the first or the second, but we only study about the Ottoman Empire when we talk about wars, the world wars. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, probably the First World War for sure, because they're kind of falling apart right afterwards.
Sure.
And then one of the things, if we talk to, and I was trying to hope to get a school from Sarajevo, which would have been kind of interesting. One of the things that Bulgaria could mention is that when Bulgaria and some of the other parts of Europe broke away from the Ottomans, that ends up losing their foothold, and then it's the beginning of the end for the Ottoman Empire. So it's a kind of a fascinating study there we talk about. Bulgaria, why don't you explain just a little bit about your class and how you teach English there? We might want to do that just a little bit while we're waiting downloads.
Our class, it's nothing special. No, we have an electronic book, so we don't use workbooks, in which we can write. We use our computers. Our teacher gives us things, and we have a plasma TV in which we can see you even now. That's why sometimes we look over there. And the lesson is on the plasma TV. Sometimes we write things in our books. Huh? And our teacher goes to each one of us and asks us different things. And different questions, and we answer. And it's kind of fun.
Okay. Ryan, how do they teach English at Currad High School?
Generally in Iran, students learn English from first grade until 12th grade. We have English lessons as one of our major lessons, and we learn English. Not that not all of people are so fluent in English because of that, because we just learned some basic things, but all schools have some English lessons. However, in Herad or some schools, we have more specific lessons based on students' level of English proficiency. Because we're private schools, and in most private schools, there is the same system.
Oh, okay, so as a private school, do you think you get a better education than the public schools, or no?
In case of English, yes, because we have specific classes based on language proficiency level, but maybe not in other lessons.
Well, in the 6 years I've been dealing with your teacher, it appears that everyone I've ever talked to could speak English as well as I could. So somebody's doing a very good job there.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Taiwan, Mary, tell us a little bit how you teach English to your wonderful students out there in Taiwan. Then we'll go to Brazil. Then we're about a minute away from showing the video.
Actually, students can share how classes, different classes are taught because they're actually a bit different.
Go ahead.
We always listen to teacher and we follow the textbook and sometimes we have to learn English from magazine and vocabulary book by ourselves. And although we all the magazines and books about are part of our contents of our text. And we also have weekly tests for those magazine and vocabulary books.
Okay. How many years do you take English there?
From elementary school to second grade of elementary school. And usually the parents of the children take the children to primary school very, very early.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I think Bulgaria has a question to ask, and then we'll go to Brazil. Bulgaria, go ahead.
When we are speaking and presenting something, can you understand us well, like our English and something?
Let's start with Brazil. Go ahead and what do you hear in Brazil with their Bulgarian English? It sounds fine to me.
Yeah, it sounded fine. I could understand most of it. I think that in presentations like this, a good PowerPoint presentation may help us to understand, because with pictures, images, dates, names of places.
Well, that's not their fault. That's my fault. They actually sent me a really nice one. That's what we're trying to download right now.
No problem.
I understand what you're saying, though.
No problem. I couldn't understand everything. I'm just saying that it's a very good aid, but no problem. It was really understandable, and I think it was very clear. The microphone helps too, because sometimes when I hear other countries, it's a little low. The sound is very... I can't listen very well because the microphone is far away, for example. But it was very good. Here in Brazil, teaching English is a challenge. I don't think we do it very well. Mostly, people only learn English in private language schools. They usually don't learn in elementary schools. Although they try to teach English in elementary and high school. Since the 7th grade, I think, since the students are like 10, 11 years old. But it doesn't work. The students only make a mess and don't listen to the teachers when they are trying to teach English. They respect more the math teachers, Portuguese teachers, but not English. English is like free time for them. So that's why most of the students who want to learn English go to private language schools, like mine, for example. I don't teach at a regular school. I teach in a private language school. So that's why sometimes it's very difficult to work on global interactions, because the students are not really proficient. But you are doing a very good job. Congratulations.
I couldn't say it better.
Thank you.
So, Iran, how do you hear the people from Bulgaria there in Tehran?
Actually, they were really good. Like, we could understand everything, and I think that you're doing a really good job in it, because you didn't like you said. I mean, like, everything was okay. We could understand it perfectly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah, we're going quite a ways around the world. Mary, could you hear everything well there?
I didn't understand the most part of your presentation, and there are the part that we cannot hear clearly, but I think that it is on the personal problem of us.
Perhaps sometimes because of the voice is not loud enough for us to listen to. And perhaps sometimes it is lack of background of the Liberation Day of Bulgaria, so we cannot understand. So and sometimes maybe you're talk a little bit fast, so actually you can understand most of your decision. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to go ahead and try to start their power. They have about 10-minute video they made for us. So we're going to go ahead and Bulgaria take over and explain to what we're about to see, okay?
Don't be too fast.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is the screen moving, by the way? Because we're like on one screen.
Can you see it?
Well, we see it, but we see only the star and nothing else.
Yeah, we see only the first slide.
Okay, I'll try to get that out. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't engaged in this so much, I forgot I was past y'all. Okay, you couldn't see any of it?
Nothing.
Okay, let me try one more time and see if we can do it better, okay? I'm sorry, it's really, it's a kind of a riveting deal. I just couldn't understand the fudge. Well, I think I lost it again, so I'm sorry about the video because all you got to see was the music, and I couldn't get the video to play right for everybody. But I will send it to you, and you guys can download it. This video it's in Bulgarian, but it's extremely good. I wish I could read the Cyrillic alphabet better, and then I could maybe enjoy it. But the pictures and the film and everything it's a very, very good job. The problem is I just can't really. Yeah, exactly right. I don't know. Something about sharing videos on this, it's just not. PowerPoints work fine. The video just doesn't work. Are there any? One more question I'd like to ask, because we're in the middle of some political discussions here in the United States with Iran and Geneva and stuff like that. How important it is for everybody? How important is it for countries to talk to each other? Let's start with Iran, and we'll go around to the other countries. Okay, Iran. How important is it to talk to each other?
I think it's really important because we all have different ideas, but anyway, we are all living in the same place.